Thoughts to Build On by M.R. KOPMEYER, 28. Chapter 28. Press On. History has not yet decided where to place the marble bust of President Calvin Coolidge. His life is still too recent to be seen in proper perspective. It is as if history is holding his bust like a giant chess piece, uncertain where to position it on the chessboard of eternity. And we ourselves have not thought much about Calvin Coolidge lately, because we are still caught up in the excitement of the youthful enthusiasm of John Kennedy, whose ideas and ideals were cut short before reaching full maturity and were transferred, in a blinding flash of national shock, to Lyndon Johnson, then replaced in turn by Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, James Carter, and Ronald Reagan, as each sought his place in history. In the case of Calvin Coolidge, let us thoughtfully consider what he said, even as we await history's final judgment on what he did. One thing we know, Calvin Coolidge thought clearly and precisely before he spoke. And then he spoke with a brevity that was remarkable, as in the case of his presidential portrait. When it was hung, he and a companion viewed it discerningly and at great length, during which neither spoke a word. Then President Coolidge turned to his friend and quietly said, "I think so, too." Many people do not know that the president who seldom spoke made one of the wisest statements of all time. President Coolidge said, "Nothing in the world will take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education alone will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent." The slogan, "Press On," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. That statement alone should assure President Coolidge's place in history. It should be memorized by every high school graduate as a prerequisite to graduating. If every high school graduate knew that persistence and determination alone are omnipotent, and that the slogan, "Press On," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race, how direct the way to achievement would be. How much better it would be to teach that statement of inspiration and fact by President Coolidge than to teach the statement made by his famous predecessor that all men are created equal, a preposterous conclusion, which in the unlikely event you haven't found it out for yourself, any anthropologist will tell you just is not so. How much better it is to know that, while by natural process you haven't been created equal, you still can, by persistence and determination alone, attain a measure of value, and press on, to become not merely equal, but superior. Little good and much harm have come from unfounded illusions of equality, but almost everything good has come from persistence and determination. Equality does not come by natural process, nor can equality result from environment, nor can equality be bestowed by some benevolent government. Equality must be earned by persistent and determined effort, by pressing on to individual achievement. And nobody need stop when he or she merely has earned equality, because simply by continuing the same persistence and determination, simply by pressing on, superiority can be attained. Here in the United States, in this land of freedom to achieve to the full extent of one's ability, persistence and determination, neither equality nor superiority is limited by race, color or creed. Examples are everywhere. So let no one say that it cannot be done, because it has been done. And it is being done every day. It is greatly to be regretted that so many people have been misled into devoting their energies to demanding equality as a right, when those same energies could have earned equality or superiority as an achievement. The way to attain that achievement is the way President Calvin Coolidge said, has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. And note that he said human race, not any specific race. So, let's sit before that quiet, thoughtful president and again listen carefully as he says, "Nothing in the world will take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education alone will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent." The slogan, "Press On," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. When history gets around to placing that marble bust of Calvin Coolidge in its niche among the world's great, I hope it places him up among the high and mighty, because in his concise, terse way, he told how they became high and mighty, so that we, too, could become equal or superior.